Three habits, man, that I built when I was younger that I still use today that probably saved my life, right? Listen, it's no secret, young man. I've made it very clear and I've been very transparent about the mistakes that I made when I was younger, about how I was distracted, how I was chasing after women, chasing after box, how I really didn't take the time to figure out my passion and purpose in life. And for the most part, I just wasted a lot of time. But what if I was to tell you that in the process of all of that, another thing happened? And that thing was I developed some pretty interesting habits, habits that I still have today that I believe actually saved my life. And I'm going to share those habits with you on tonight's video. Listen, I am the over 50 guy / the online dad, and I have 40 plus years of experience, 40 plus years of life experience that I share with young men to help them avoid a lot of the mistakes and pitfalls that I went through at your age. That's what we do on the channel. So let's get into it. Young men, the first habit that I developed when I was younger was consistency. Consistency. And that habit was formed out of going to the gym all the time. I told you guys that I lived in the gym in my 20s. It's almost like if I wasn't asleep, I was at the gym. And that's just kind of a fact. I was there all the time. And being there like that, man, it gave me a sense of structure. It gave me something to do, somewhere to be, something to shoot towards, right? Whether I was trying to lose weight, whether I was trying to gain muscle, regardless of what I was trying to do, I had to be there every day. Listen, if everything else failed in a particular day, I was going to the gym, right? Again, it was the idea of somewhere to go and somewhere to be. Listen, if I wasn't in the gym, there's no telling where I would have been or what I would have been doing. And this is why I say that the consistency of that saved my life. Listen, it bled over into other things, actually. The consistency of going to the gym led to the consistency of going to bed earlier so I can make it to the gym. The consistency of going to the gym led to the consistency of eating right, led to the consistency of staying on certain programs, certain workouts for months on end. It led to discipline. It was the fact, man, that I was doing something on a consistent basis day in and day out. I formed a habit by taking that consistent action day in and day out. So consistency is one of those habits that I believe actually saved my life. The second habit that I picked up on when I was younger, man, was taking action. Taking action. Listen, I was not one of these guys that would think about, well, should I do this, or I don't know how, and how am I going to do this? No, I wasn't that guy. When I said I was going to do something, I took massive action towards that thing that I said that I was going to do. Rather that was a job, rather that was trying to start a business. Regardless of what it was, I wasn't the guy that measured 20 times before I made a cut. No, I was the guy that looked it over, and if it made sense to me, I was going after it. A buddy of mine years ago showed me how he was making money in wholesaling real estate. As a matter of fact, he showed a few of my other buddies as well. And they kind of looked at it and, hey, that's nice. I looked at that like, I want to do that, right? So that was like on a weekend. By that Monday, I'm on the phone with my friend, like, I will pay you to show me how to do this thing. Like, I was that serious. Listen, I'm the type of guy where I would rather come to the ground in flames than to never take off at all. And you don't get that way if you don't take massive action. That's the reason that I am doing content right now. It wasn't a matter of just thinking about it and, well, I don't have the right camera and I don't have the lights and I don't have this and I don't have that. I started doing this thing in a truck with my phone in my hand, because I am not going to be that guy, again, that measures 20 times and never makes a cut, right? And I've been that way since my 20s. It's not being compulsive. It is seeing something that you want and going after it, taking action, young man. And that's exactly what I did. So I believe that is the second habit that started when I was younger that I believe has saved my life, right? Now, listen, habits, young men, are not something that you're born with. They have to be developed, and they have to be developed over time. That is why I created a 30-day success routine PDF for you guys to help you create these habits, creating the daily structure, creating the discipline, creating the mindset necessary to create the habits that will get you from where you are now to where you want to be. The link for that is in the description below. The third habit, young men, that I developed when I was in my 20s was aligning myself with older men, right? Older men with more experience, with a knowledge that my contemporaries did not have. My father's favorite saying was that you will never beat an old man. An old man know too much. He been here. He unseen more than you. He's done more than you. So you may beat him physically, but that'll be about all you can do because he has been around longer. So he knows more. So I don't know if it was taking my father's advice or if that's just something that I did automatically. But it was always a matter of I knew that these men knew more than the people that I was hanging out with. I learned things that I couldn't learn from my buddies. I learned things about finances. I learned things about real estate. I learned things about family and things like that by aligning myself and hanging out with older men who could mentor me, who could show me and teach me the things that I didn't know at my age. You know, I think about some of these men now that when I was trying to pass a ASE test when I was working at my first job, it was Otis Roscoe who would show me how to study and who would, no, you can't be doing all of that, man. You got to get in this book because if you don't pass this test, you ain't gonna have this job. It was him that encouraged me, him that showed me the study habits necessary in order to pass this test. When I was in church circles, there was a Bobby Cooper, there was a Eric Price, these men who came alongside of me and showed me how to do this thing, showed me how to be a good husband, showed me how to be a good father, right? So it's very hard, young men, to pick up stuff from people that are at the same level that you are. You would do better finding somebody that is at a higher level who has been where you are, who has done what you're trying to do, to again help you avoid the mistakes and the pitfalls. To this very day, I gravitate to men who are older than me because, like I said, they know more. They've been here longer. They've experienced more. And there's a nugget in there that I don't know because they've been where I'm at, but I haven't been where they're at, right? So aligning myself with older men is a habit that I believe saved my life. So there you have it. Those are the three. And you know what? There's more, young men, but those are the most prominent ones that I believe have had the most impact on my life, right? So again, young man, habits, you're not born with them. You have to develop them, right? And there's many of you listening to this right now and you're saying, yeah, I really do need some help taking action. I really do need some help being more consistent. And I probably could benefit from an older person's experience and knowledge. Listen, if this is you, don't just scroll to the next video. Listen, I offer one-on-one coaching where you and I work on those things one-on-one, no group Zoom or anything like that. This is you and I customizing a plan around building those habits in your life. The link to apply for that is also in the description below. So listen, that is going to wrap it up for me, young men. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me for a little while tonight. I am the Over 50 guy / the online dad. We'll be back with another one soon.